This is the Casio Te2400 cash register supplied by the cash register shop. It's a very powerful cash register with a multitude of functions and features, and I can have various devices connected to it, such as a printer. I can have up to 2 printers connected to it, one for the kitchen, one for the bar. Alternatively, I could also have a printer and maybe a scanner connected to it. I can link the cash register to my computer via a cable. What we commonly use now is the compact flash card, which sits in the front of the cash register. It's a memory stick, and every time I take a Z reading on the cash register, it will automatically save the information to this card. I then just simply take the card, insert it into my computer, and by using Excel point back office software, it will automatically upload this information into a database, which I can then view in a spreadsheet. Alternatively, I can also save any new program items on here, like descriptions and prices, and then I just simply insert it into the cash register, and by following a few simple steps I can upload it from the card onto the till. There is a video for that on how to do that particular procedure. The cash register also has a 2-station printer. The station on the right is my journal roll, and that records everything that happens on the till. So if there's a power failure and the machine switches off, I have some way of at least cashing up the cash register. The print on the left is my receipt printer, and that prints out all my receipts and my reports at the end of the day. And to change paper is quite simple. Simply open this up, take out the old roll, put in the new one, close the printer, replace the cover, and you are ready to go. I have a swivel display at the back, and my front display shows me things that have been rung up. So if I ring up a few items, it'll show me I've sold, in this case, 2 items and the total value of those 2 items rung up, and also the last item that was sold. I can now just simply press my cash button, or I can enter the amount that the customer gives me, and it'll then show me the change due. The cash register also has a help facility on it. So if you not want to read manuals, by simply pressing help, it'll print out an instruction list on the receipt on how to do various items. So if I want to change a price, I simply enter the number next to the description I want, and I press help. It'll then give me a detailed description on how to change prices. A nice feature on this particular cash register is that the cash drawer also separates from the top part of the machine. So I can mount the cash drawer underneath the counter for security purposes, and then just have the top part sitting on the counter. I have then a flat template on the machine. This is divided with 72 fast touch buttons, where I can pre-program all my items onto it, and then to ring something up I simply press the button of that particular item, and I can then have different tender buttons. In this case I have cash, CH for charge, CHK for check. It just separates the different ways customers pay. So on my report I can see how much cash I've taken, how many credit cards, and how many checks. I can either just press the button, or I can enter the amount that the customer gives me and press cash. It'll then print out a receipt for me. You'll notice that it's printing out a receipt after each transaction. I can switch off that receipt by switching my receipt on and off, and then by pressing my receipt button, it'll then issue me a receipt if the customer requires one. Other functions I have on here is no sale. If I press that, it just opens up the cash drawer for me. I also have a paid out and a received cash. Paid out is used if you want to take money out of the drawer and go and buy stock. I'll enter the amount, press my paid out button, take the money out and use it, and when change comes back I can then enter the change, press my RC button, and then put the money back into the till. This is great for when you're cashing up at the end of the day and you want to balance up with what's in the cash register to what the report says you should have. I then have a discount button, and I can have multiple discount buttons on the machine. I can pre-program it, or I could have it as an open discount button. So if I ring something up and I want to give, in this case it's 9 Rand, I want to give 10% on that, I simply enter 10, press the discount, and it'll then give me a discount for that particular item. I can either give a discount on a single product, or I can give a discount on everything that's been rung up in one sale. To do that, I'll ring up a few items, press subtotal, enter the discount, and there's the discount now over the whole transaction. I have a refund button, that is if I want to take something off that's been rung up earlier on in the sale, and an error correct button. As soon as I ring something up and I realize it's an incorrect item, I can press error correct and then ring up the correct item. All these functions can be blocked off from abuse and only left open to a manager to use. You'll notice with the key I have my normal registration mode and a manager mode. So we can block off the refund and the discount facility from happening in normal registration mode, and then if it needs to happen, the manager will then just turn the key to the manager mode, do the refund. When he's finished, he can then just turn the key back and take the key out, and the cashier can then carry on from where they left off. Great security. I also have a stock inquiry button. The stock inquiry is used to check stock levels on a particular product. And the cash register can do very basic stock. And basic stock means it's really just a reorder level. It will show you what stock you have left in your business. So for argument's sake, I have Coke, Coke Light and Fanta. If I press my stock inquiry button and then I press Coke, it'll then show me on the screen how much Coke I've got left. In this case, it shows me I've got 86 Cokes in stock. If I now ring up a Coke, let's say 3 Cokes, and I cash it off. I now do a stock inquiry. I press Coke. It now shows me I've got 83 Cokes left in stock. To add in stock is very simple. We just then simply turn the key to X position, tell the cash register I'm going to add stock. And then on the screen it says add your stock quantity. I now I'll add in another 100. And I then press the item I'm adding the Coke to. Now I'm finished. Now on the slip, it'll then show me the old stock I started with, the stock I've added, and my current balance. I can take a stock report, which will then give me a complete breakdown of all the stock items where I've entered in stock. Now this shows me my minimum level of stock that I require, my current balance of stock that's on the business at the moment. The cash register is ideally suited to a bar and also to a restaurant. The bar function that this cash register has is a facility known as a cashier interrupt. The cashier interrupts allows for speedy transactions. One of the things that you want to eliminate in a bar is for a barman to wait behind a cash register. In other words, you want to avoid the congestion that happens behind the till. You want drinks to turn around quite quickly. And how that works is barman 1 will sign on and he rings up 3 items. He'll then go and serve the customer or to get the drinks out. Now barman 2 comes along and notices that barman 1 is still busy on his sale. All barman 2 has to do is sign on. The cash register then takes barman 1's transaction and puts it on hold, allowing barman 2 then to ring up what he needs. Now barman 2 goes to serve the customer and barman 1 returns. Barman 1 just needs to sign on. It'll then bring up his transaction from where he left off, allowing him to then proceed, either ring up new items or to cash off the sale. Then when barman 2 returns and signs on, it brings up his transaction from where he left off, and he can then proceed either ringing up more items or cashing off the sale. A great function to speed up transactions in a bar. The cash register also has a facility to do table tracking. So if a customer comes and sits down at the table, we can open up a table for them, ring up items under the table, and then save it on the cash register. And until such time that the customer wants the items, we can then print the bill for the customer, who can then pay on that particular order. The cash register, as mentioned earlier, can also be linked up to a printer. If I ring up a food item, I can also select the customer to say wants it well done, with no sauce, and when I cash it off, it automatically sends it off to the printer. So this is the Casio Te2400 from the cash register shop. A very powerful machine, and a machine that is highly recommended. It can add up to 5,000 items, quite sufficient for a small retail outlet and for restaurants. And with it being linked to your computer, offers you a very affordable and powerful system for your business.